Good evening. My name is Kelli Graves. This assignment is for Introduction to Sociology, CC8. Today is January 28th, 2019. So imagine you are the president of a Fortune 500 company. You started out as secretary right out of high school and worked your way to the top. The vice president and CEO are always at odds. As an expressive leader, how do you resolve this social dilemma and restore order in the leadership positions between these two officers? I began my career as a secretary fresh out of high school at this Fortune 500 company. Working hard for the company, I have accomplished the top honor of fulfilling the role as company president. The CEO and the vice president of this company and I have historically worked closely to keep the company running in a fluent, productive manner. However, there seems to be a rift between the CEO and the VP as of lately, creating interference in the running of the company in a collaborative manner. Being an expressive leader, I place my focus on triumphing over interpersonal problems between individuals that emerge in group situations. These interpersonal relationship dilemmas can have a devastating effect on the entire group that they are participants of. Once group harmony and unity has been restored, the group effectiveness will be repaired. As a dominantly expressive leader, I work to maintain warm, friendly relationships and ensure the collective well-being of the group. I truly care for my employees. I will open lines of communication, utilizing whatever resources necessary between my two feuding peers, restoring the relationship and the mandatory harmony that has always existed in our work arena. Name the 3 types of formal organizations and explain how each is different. Also, explain a time when you were involved in one of these types of organization and the positives and the negatives it had within it. Formal organizations are created to perform necessary tasks in society that cannot be accomplished by primary group arrangements in order to attain precise objectives. 3 types of formal organizations identified by sociologist Amate Etizioni to accomplish these objectives are voluntary, coercive, and utilitarian organizations. Voluntary organizations are members of that group may leave without restrictions. An example of such is Summer Softball League. Coercive organizations are those in which an individual is a participant against his or her will. Examples, prisons. Utilitarian organizations are formal organizations that are voluntarily joined in order to gain a material reward. For example, a hospital. One formal organization that I participate is my employment at a hospital, considered a utilitarian organization. As an employee at a large medical organization, I recognize both positives and negatives. A positive of such an organization is the reliability and consistency it provides me in acquiring a biweekly paycheck, my goal of participating in such an organization. The drawback of being a member of such an institution for this nurse is the lack of personalization and lack of flexibility in such a large for-profit establishment. 3. You decide to run for public office. Although you have little to no experience with elections, holding office, or campaigning, you feel you can be successful since you helped a friend who served in a public office seat last term. Explain how this characteristic of Weber's ideal bureaucracy and what you will do to prove your competence under these characteristics. Bureaucracy, a functional approach to organization, is a social structure establishing the most efficient and balanced way in which a society can shape its activity and the systematic processes and organized hierarchies that are necessary to maintain order, maximize efficiency, and eliminate favoritism. After assisting a friend serving in public office, I decided to run for public office myself. Although I have no experience in public elected position, I feel that the office/position that I wish to partake in is very transparent responsibilities and expectations. Learning and following rules and regulations that define those obligations will be essential in my performance in public office, proving my competency despite my lack of experience. Number 4. As a creative manager of a small group of employees in the advertising department, you notice one of your designers has withdrawn from the meetings offering no input. This employee's alienation concerns you. What would you do to socialize this employee and engage him in his job? As a creative manager of a small group of employees in the advertising department, I take note that one of my employees has ceased participating in group meetings. As a manager, I'm aware of the possibilities of alienation arising among staff. When an employee does not feel fulfilled or satisfied with their job, they may become disengaged. As a manager of this particular employee, I would reevaluate his or her interests, strengths, and weaknesses. After this assessment and a discussion with the individual, we would develop a plan for him or her to work on aspects that are more interesting and appealing, adding variety in his or her assignments, and hopefully bringing that patient back as an active participant in our group. Thank you very much for your time.